All right, well, thank you everybody for coming to honor our seniors here at the 2024 Senior Night. Should hopefully have a pretty good contest out on the field tonight. So what we'll do here is I'm just going to give a quick little blurb about each player as we go down, and then family members after you're introduced if you want to walk out and meet the player, and then we'll grab a picture from you just right at the edge of the track here. All right. First person, I can't speak highly enough about how much I enjoyed his personality and him as a human being. Unfortunately ran into some injuries this season, hasn't got to be on the field as much, but still every day shows up to practice, and it helps out all the time, and is great to have around. So Jake Swick, come on up. Jake's going to be met by John and Heather, his mom and dad, and then Trevor and Bella, his siblings. I gotta commend you guys, baby pictures are great. Nice touch. All right, next up we have one of our captains. Plays and practices super hard all the time, and I can't tell you the value of that to a football program. Really sets the tone for us, and can't say enough good things about him. Logan Chamberlain is going to be met by Eric and Kate, Terry Chamberlain, his mom and dad, and Richard and Diane Hines, his grandparents. Next up, we have another one of our captains. Has been a real cornerstone for the program off-season and during the season the last couple of years. Really embodies everything I think we want from a captain and a player. Caden Tessier. Going to be met by Joe and Chelsea Tessier, mom and dad, and Gavin, Peyton, Austin, and Denon. Those are his many wonderful siblings. Next up, I have another individual that I really enjoy as a person. I enjoyed a great deal speaking with him in the weight room in the off season about his baseball season and how the team's doing. He's been a great player for us, done a ton of different stuff for us, everything we've asked. Liam Zahn. We're going to be met by his parents Adam and Sam and his younger brother Aiden. Next up, we got a player who joined us for his first season last year. has done a great job, I think, learning the sport and gotten better every single day. Played a lot of really good reps for us this year, and I think the entire team would probably agree is probably like the happiest and nicest person anyone's ever met. Without question, we all love having him around. Next up, CRC, Charles Riley Curtis. Charlie's going to be met by Nathan and Lindsay Curtis, mom and dad, and sister at the other. And last but certainly not least, got a player who shows up to practice every day and works incredibly hard, super coachable, has made tremendous gains throughout his career here. Has any time really he's had an opportunity to have his number called when we needed him, he's made a ton of huge plays. Does all the little things that we would ever ask for in a teammate. Jackson Gently, going to be met by Becca and Ernie, mom and dad, Julie, stepmom, Luana, step-grandmother, and siblings Carson and Jacob. Awesome. Thank you, senior parents, for everything that you've done for our program, and I commend you on the young men that you have raised. They are all really great examples of what we're looking for in our program, so thank you very much for that. With that being said, I will pass it over to Taylor to talk about the cheerleaders.
Hi everyone, I'm Taylor. I'm the coach of the cheer team. Kiana, she helps me out. We had an unexpected season this year, so we've been at any of the games, but I have two very dedicated seniors who I think deserve a senior night for all the hard work they've done. So my first senior is someone I've watched coach, or I've helped coach, watched cheer since she was very, very little. And now she's finally done with it after this. Won't last for long. But I have Jasmine Salemi with her mom, Nana, and dad, and brother, Paula, Kathy, Anthony, and Leland. And next I have another senior who I got the privilege of coaching for the past 3 years. Started cheering out of nowhere, and she learned to love it. So I have Victoria Simino, accompanied by me and Kiana. And Jasmine. And that's all I got.
51 degrees on a crisp, cool, clear night here in southern New Hampshire. Welcome to Granite Town Media's presentation of Milford Spartan football. We're here at Stadium Field, home of the Milford Spartans, set for an NHIAA Division II West Conference tilt between the Cougars of ConVal High School and your Milford Spartans. It is a pleasure to be joined this evening by the heart and soul of the 1984 Milford Spartans, captain of that team, state champion Dean Hardwick. Dino, welcome to the broadcast booth, and glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Kevin. Great to be here, and it looks like a beautiful night for football.
The Milford Spartans come in underperforming this season, 1-6. It's a young team, as you know, sophomore quarterback, first-year head coach. Only 7 seniors. Stark contrast to that team you were on all those years ago, 40 years ago to be exact. Probably don't want to hear that number, but 40 years ago you had about 20, 23 seniors on that team. Makes a difference, I would imagine.
Of course it does, Kevin. Let's face it. If you're a young team, you got to work your way through to really become a senior, and hopefully you can capitalize on the experience that you've got behind you to make things happen out there on the gridiron.
So while we wait for the coin toss here, we'll talk a little bit about these ConVal Cougars. They're headed by two-headed quarterback tandem of Brad Brunell and Sammy Davis, a senior and a junior. Brunell's done most of the throwing, 28 of 45 on the season for 333 yards, 5 touchdowns, averaging about 55 yards per game. Where this team rarely does its damage, though, is with their running back, number 33, Elliot Featherstone, senior running back. He's put up over 400 yards on the ground, also 4 touchdowns. On top of that, though, they have 2 tight ends that both go 6 foot 2 inches tall. So they can beat you in a number of different ways. Dean, it makes it difficult to game plan against an offense that can, kind of beat you in different ways that way.
Oh, certainly, and they'll be able to mix it up. But before I forget, I just want to mention I like Elliot Featherstone's jersey number, the number that I had back 40 years ago in 1984.
Number 33 will be running around the field tonight as it did 40 years ago. Milford won the toss. It will be receiving the ball. Captains for the Milford Spartans are number 38, that is Logan Chamberlain, as well as number 6, Caden Tessier. So we're just about to get underway here at Stadium Field. Kevin St. Onge and Dean Hardwick on the various platforms of Granite Town Media. Milford has not had very competitive games this season. The one win, a 48-22 win over Hollis Brookline. The rest of the games, though, the Milford Spartans have been really pressed to find offense, averaging less than a touchdown a game in their games other than Hollis Brookline. So going against a team tonight that is only a 2-win team, and both of those wins were against teams with losing records. Milford looking to get their new spread offense untracked. Here come the Milford Spartans. Going back deep for the Spartans, Liam Zahn together with Christopher Boza and Caden Tessier.
Any history between these two teams, Kevin? Anything, any rivalries or past situations that may make this game a little bit more exciting for not only the players but for the fans?
Interesting thing for Dean is that in recent memory, these ConVal Cougars have played up and down. They've played as down into Division III. They've played in Division II. Milford has traveled to ConVal in years past. It has not historically been a competitive program. Very short kick comes down along the front line. It looks like it's being recovered by the ConVal Cougars. High end-over-end kick that barely traveled to 10 yards. Was recovered by the Milford Spartans. Handled by the hands team, although you don't expect a hands team on the very first kickoff of the game to be fielding that type of a kickoff. Very unusual kickoff by the Cougars. Charles Riley Curtis was the first Spartan to touch it. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line where the Milford Spartans will get started here at the 11:55 mark.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans on their own 40-yard line.
Trips formation to the left for the Spartans, near side. Brady O'Connor alone in the backfield, sends Tessier in motion, takes a low snap, 2-step drop, flush from the pocket to his left. He's going to look to turn upfield, does so, and steps out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line.
Brady O'Connor.
Looks like he picked up about 9 yards, almost 10. And fortunately, the Spartans did have the ball. They came awfully close to turning it over during that kickoff, but they were able to get that ball back in their
second
position.
down and 1.
Nice gain by the quarterback. Probably not the design of the play intended, but in any event, second and short for head coach Max Morelli's Milford Spartans. Shotgun formation again. O'Connor. The give is to the back. I believe that was Tessier, first man through the hole. Looks like he should have had enough for the first down.
He'll be right on the edge, Kevin, but
Gavin Tessier.
They set the ball down. They made it over by about
Cross
a
midfield for the first down.
first down. They're about the 50-yard line,
It'll be first
moving
and
their
10
way
for the
into
Spartans.
Cougar
The ball
territory.
is on the ConVal 49-yard line.
First down of the game for the Milford Spartans. Something the Spartans have had difficulty coming by this season is converting first downs. Do so on second and short here. Here come the Milford Spartans again. Low snap. Ball's handled and handed off to number 23, Gavin Tassier.
Looks like he got taken down by number 1, Sammy Davis of the Cougars. Roughed him
No
up pretty
gain
good,
on
right
the play.
about the
It'll be
line of
second
scrimmage.
down and 9.
Pretty much no gain.
Ball
Ball
is
looks like
on
right
the
where it
ConVal
was just a
49-yard
few
line.
seconds ago.
No gain on the play. Milford Spartans have a 2nd and 10. A little different look to this offense tonight, sending players in motion, not something we've seen in the first 7 games of the season. Also something we haven't seen much of is the quarterback under center, and here is Brady O'Connor under center now. He turns, hands off to Tessier. Tessier off tackle to the right side. Good 6-7 yard gain on the play. Flag comes in late though, so we'll have to see what the laundry on the field relates to.
Darren Farrell on the tackle for ConVal.
Looks like it should have been enough for a first down much. Fumble on the play from the press box. I missed it. I don't know about you, Dean. I didn't see it. Fumble on the play, so that turns it over to the Cougars
recovered a fumble
at the Cougar 43-yard line. Running hard for the Cougars. Featherstone, short gain on the play.
Milford stepped up on that play. They stuffed him. There was at least 2 or 3 pairs of hands wrapping up that running back. They got maybe a couple.
About 2 yards on the play. It'll be second down.
The 45-yard line.
The ball is on the ConVal 45-yard line.
Very unusual offensive series by the Spartans. Did not see the fumble on that play, but here we go. ConVal, 2nd and 8 from their 45. Brunel under center. Brunel takes the snap, pitches to Sammy Davis. Davis puts the ball on the floor. Ball is still on the ground. Off to the races. Liam Zahn has one man to beat, and he's going to do it. Into the end zone goes Liam Zahn. Opportunistic football for the Milford Spartans here in the early going. Check the field, no flags. Milford Spartans up 6-0 at the 9:49 mark.
Carried it into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartan.
Well, I don't know who started that whole thing, but whoever caught up with the quarterback disrupted the play. They get the ball knocked onto the ground. Somebody scooped it up. I didn't get the number, but they were able to turn around and bring it back into the Cougar end zone.
Milford senior Liam Zahn opportunistically picking up that fumble and getting it into the end zone. Cougars were looking to run a little option play. Quarterback Brunel to running back Sammy Davis. They didn't look like they had adequate spacing, though, and the pitch just bounced right off of Davis's shoulder pads. O'Connor set to try for 2, rolls to his left, throws into the end zone, intended for Simon McFarland. That flies over his head, incomplete. So the 2-point conversion is no good, but the Milford Spartans are on the board here in the early going. 6-0 is your score. We'll step aside here on Granite Town Media.
6, Cougars 0.
curious as if whether the turnovers here have been a problem for both teams over the course of the season. We've already had 3 fumbles.
And it's a nice night. I mean, it's not like it's freezing cold and the hands should be a problem. It's not wet. It's a very crisp, clear night for football. Set to kick off for the Spartans, Simon McFarland. Back deep, Sam Davis for the Cougars. McFarland steps into it. Squib kick to the right hash mark, fielded by, I believe that's Featherstone on that left sideline, pushed out of bounds after he crossed about the 40-yard line, where the ConVal Cougars will take over for their second series of the game. Early going, Milford Spartans up 6-0 over the ConVal Cougars.
Well, I remember back in the day, Kevin, you used to be able to use a spray on your hands. I think they called it stick-em, keep the ball on you. I don't know if they can use that anymore. I remember not being able to use it much, so I had to rely on breathing on my hands to get the moisture on there so I could hold on to that pigskin when Davey Carter handed it off to me or threw it to me or what have you. But, again, I'm out night tonight. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Featherstone takes the pitch to the left side, turns the corner and moves the ball upfield about 6 yards. Nice little run by Featherstone. There's your number 33, Dean.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not getting any younger, Kevin. I can pick up the numbers sometimes I can't, but
it'll be second
do the best I can to start picking up some
Cougars.
defense here.
It's an acquired skill. It's, if you've never done it before, seeing the game from this vantage point, it's certainly different. Receiver wide right for the Cougars. Brunel under center, split backs behind him. Brunel gives to the up back. I believe that was Featherstone trying to go off guard. Little trap action in there, but there are flags on the field, so we will await
on the carry.
the referee's decision here.
There is a flag on the play.
The play right up the middle, they stuffed it pretty good. But, unfortunately, the flags came flying up and sitting on the field. They're going to work it out right now and see what happens next.
Referee's talking to the Milford head coach, Max Morelli, now jogging across to the other side, sending the Cougars back to their huddle. Flag still down as the officials are talking.
Currently 2nd and 5. We'll see if it moves them ahead or it sets them back. I'm not sure which. Haven't really seen any reaction from any of the players yet, but working it out.
Currently the ball spotted at the Cougar 44-yard line. As you mentioned, 2nd and 5 is what's showing now. Referee is indicating a dead ball foul against the Spartans, unsportsmanlike conduct. So that will definitely give the Cougars a first down.
That's going to cost them, Kevin, and that's going to move the ball all the way up into Milford territory into the 41-yard line.
That flips the field, puts the Cougars in Spartan territory for the first time this evening. Milford 41-yard line. Back in our day, we had a coach that talked about the concept of bending but not breaking. So this is the first opportunity for the Spartans to demonstrate that bend but not break defense here. Ball's at the Milford 41. Slot formation to the right. Brunel rolling to his right. Little flip pass intended for Davis. Davis had it in his hands, unable to haul it in though. Falling incomplete. That'll bring up a second down.
Pass intended for Davis was incomplete. It will be 2nd and 10.
Decent coverage on the play by the Spartan defense. Davis is a tall back. He's wearing number 1. He's got some height. Looks like he has some speed, and he's playing multiple positions. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife player. He plays quarterback, running back, and receiver. He's in the slot formation now. Brunel flips to Featherstone. Featherstone turns the corner after picking up a yard.
Featherstone on the carry.
Ran about 10 yards to gain 1 as he's tackled at the Milford 40-yard line, where it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 here in the first quarter of play at Stadium Field.
We're both in on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 9. The ball is on the Cougar, on the Spartan 40-yard line.
Dean, we talked earlier about the tight ends and some of the receivers for this Cougar team. Both of them go 6'2", which pretty much dwarfs most of the defensive backfield. The give is to Featherstone off the left side. Nice run by Featherstone, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. He picked up about 6 on the play, moving the ball to the Spartan 36-yard line.
Featherstone wrapped up by a couple of Spartans on that play. It'll be 4th down and 5.
High school football in New Hampshire, Division II, balls at the 35-yard line. Really no kicking game from there. That'd be a 45-yard, actually 47-yard kick. No point in punting either. Playing for field position here. So here we go on 4th and 5. Spread formation. Davis in motion. Brunel, shotgun. He rolls to his left, 2 steps to his left, throwing downfield, intended for number 3, Griffin Delisle. Here comes the flag, though. Probably going to get a little defensive pass interference.
Yeah, that's no doubt about that, Kevin. Pass interference.
Little DPI is going to extend this drive for the Cougars. The best offensive play for the ConVal Cougars has been the defensive penalty by the Milford Spartans. With the Milford Spartan band so close to us, we'll turn down the ambient sound just a little bit so that we can hear ourselves. Pretty loud with the band tonight, but here we go. 1st and 10. Cougars are at the Spartan 22-yard line. Handoff was to Henry Hartwell. Hartwell scattered in the backfield and turned it up the right side, picked up about 5 on the play.
Well, ConVal threatening. They've got about 15 yards left to go. They're only on their 2nd down. We'll see if Milford can step up and turn it around, get back going the other way.
2nd and 5 from the Spartan 15. Again, spread formation for the Cougars. Brunel under center. Featherstone, Davis behind him, split in the backfield. Fumble on the quarterback center exchange, so the ball's going to stay right where it is and bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, we may have another turnover here. Milford was pointing that they may have gotten the ball back. Standing by to see what the refs have to say. Well, it'll stay with ConVal.
The loss of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 6 from the Milford 16. Slot formation to the top side of the field. Brunel pitches to Selby. Selby turns the corner, running hard. We got a flag on the play. Looks like he's in the end zone. We have one official indicating touchdown, but we have a flag well back in the backfield. So I have a feeling that might be coming back based on holding. We will await the adjudication from the officials. Sophomore running back Selby making a rare carry for the Cougars.
Yeah, and it'll be an offensive penalty. That's going to bring the ball back along with a touchdown.
So negating the touchdown, enforcing the penalty, ball will be spotted at the Spartan 26-yard line.
7-yard line.
Messy play like this, Dean, it's just not clean, penalties, negating touchdowns, negating first downs, and so forth. You can see why both of these teams are at 1-6 and 2-5 if they're playing this undisciplined. Brunel, a little double reverse here. Featherstone looking to string it out to the left side and is tackled in the backfield by the Spartans. Number 21, Christopher Boza, tracking down Featherstone from behind.
Yeah, penalties and turnovers can kill you out there on the field. I remember that being a big problem back in our day. You just got to clean it up. You got to maintain some discipline and save yourself from putting an awful lot of work into getting a whole lot of nothing.
So a big 4th down play now for the ConVal Cougars from the Spartan 27-yard line. Had a touchdown, negated by a penalty. Cougars going for it for the 2nd time on this drive on 4th down. Brunel steps back, intended for Davis, is intercepted, however, over the middle by Liam Zahn. Liam Zahn not only recovered a fumble, returned it for a touchdown, but he intercepted that Brunel pass. Milford Spartans take over, where they will have their next series of offensive plays. Nice play by the senior Liam Zahn.
And the Spartans with plenty of time to move the ball down the field. They got a little ways to go, but we're only a little less than halfway through the first quarter. And they still look fresh.
Ball spotted on the Spartan 20-yard line. Wide slot formation to the near side of the field. Liam Zahn, who scored this so far the lone Spartan touchdown in the slot. Handoff is, I believe, to Tessier. Stacked up in the middle of the offensive line. Short gain, maybe a yard on the play.
Short gain of about a yard on the play. It'll be second down, 9 yards to go for the Spartans.
When he's coming through that line, he may want to try to put his shoulder down a little bit lower. Might get him a few more inches going in the right direction.
Tessier's been a workhorse for the Spartans most of this season. Missed the West game, but he's been carrying the load running for most of the year. O'Connor to the far side. Simon McFarland on that far sideline. Caught it right at the sticks. Not sure if he was knocked out of bounds, but he certainly did not have much of a gain either.
Looks like he was stopped by...
Actually lost a yard on that.
There was a loss on the
stopped him right about the line of scrimmage.
So that'll bring up third down for the Milford Spartans. Really not a lot happening on this particular offensive series. It just seems stagnant. But here come the Spartans again. McFarland to the near side. Brady O'Connor, shotgun formation. Sends Tessier in motion. Little bubble screen over to Tessier on the near sideline. Tessier has some nifty moves there to get past his defender and pick up a Spartan first down. Little bubble screen to the running back after coming in motion. That moves the chains as the Milford Spartans pick up a first down.
Yeah, he made a good catch, had a little bit of wiggle room, moved the ball up just enough to get him to first and 10 again.
Second first down of the game for the Spartans. Moves the chains, spotted at the 33-yard line. Shotgun formation again. Tessier to O'Connor's right. O'Connor rolling to his right, wide side of the field. Intended for McFarland, dropped it right at his feet, incomplete.
Pass intended for McFarland was incomplete.
2:50 mark of the first quarter. Kevin St. Onge and Dean Hardwick on the various platforms of Granite Town Media, broadcasting from high above Stadium Field at Milford High School. Milford Spartans at 1-6, looking to play for some pride here on senior night as they're playing against a 2-5 senior-laden ConVal Cougar team who's frankly underperformed. Our pregame conversation with Matt Harris, head coach of the Cougars, indicated that he was, they're frustrated. They have a senior team, and they thought they'd be in contention for the playoffs. So they're also playing for pride. O'Connor, shotgun. Good snap this time. Drops back. Intended for Liam Zahn over the middle, wide open. Hit him in the worst spot, right in the hands.
That was a good throw. Well within his capacity to catch. Just couldn't hang on.
What I liked about that throw from the sophomore quarterback is he stepped into that throw and he delivered it with the point of the ball going to the receiver. Oftentimes this season I've seen Brady O'Connor throw off his back foot, the nose of the ball up in the air, and it just flutters, and it allows other players to run underneath it, and he's thrown a few interceptions that way. Nice to see the sophomore quarterback step in and throw with authority.
No, he's gotten some good protection so far tonight, Kevin.
Triple formation to the near side. Tessier goes in motion to the wide side of the field. O'Connor again looking for McFarland. Throw it behind him, however, and that ball falls incomplete. That will bring up fourth down. Definitely a punting situation for the Spartans. So despite picking up one first down on that offensive series, the drive stalls at the Spartan 33-yard line.
Yeah, again, the offensive line seems to be giving O'Connor some pretty good protection. They just need to connect on some of these pass plays and get the ball moving down toward the end zone. And they will punt.
Simon McFarland set to punt for Milford. Sam Davis back deep. McFarland gets it off. Wobbly kick to the near sideline, bounces out of bounds around the Cougar 43-yard line. So while the teams change fields here, we'll step aside on Granittown Media.
Where the Cougars will take over 1st and 10.
That was a quick break here as the teams change ends of the field, and Brunel gives to Featherstone, picking his way along the left side of the line. Never got back to the line to gain and is driven back by the Milford Spartans.
Yeah, nice gang tackle on that play, Kevin. They had 3 or 4 Milford Spartans in on that play, and they pushed them back to at least to the line of scrimmage, if not further back. They're still right around the 44-yard line.
Looks like, yeah, I was going to say, Dean, it looks like they gave him a yard, maybe forward progress.
Yeah, it had to have been, because he didn't land where the ball is now. He was back away.
Certainly not, certainly not. Brunel under center. Excuse me, Davis actually in the shotgun. He's going to follow the block of Featherstone, pivoting to the left side, and after a short gain is brought down again by that right side of the Spartan defensive line.
Defensive line for the Milford Spartans not giving ConVal much of an opportunity to run the ball. I haven't seen any kind of much of a run that got stretched out yet.
3rd down and 7 at the 1:30 mark of the first quarter of play. A fairly fast-moving first quarter of play, actually, because so many of these plays have been running plays. The clock continues to run here, except when the Spartans are trying to throw the ball. You throw 3-4 incompletes in a row. But here we go with the Cougars. Brunel, shotgun formation. Featherstone behind him. Brunel looking to pass.
That's going to be.
That was intended for Davis. Liam Zahn had it in his hands again. Zahn, who has 1 interception on the night, but he now has 2 drops, both on offense and on defense.
And if he had brought that ball down, we would have had another turnover. The ball just doesn't seem to want to stick to anybody's fingers tonight.
Might have to send you down there at halftime and talk about your concoction for Stickum.
I wish I could, Kevin. Like I said, I think it was just whatever was in my mouth or in my lungs that I could get under my hands to warm them up.
So 4th and 7, and Cougars look to be in a punting formation, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, they are. Punt formation, high snap. Selby, nice kick, high end-over-end kick. Not a terribly long kick, but it takes a great Cougar bounce, lands at the 30 and rolls all the way down to the Spartan 20-yard line where it's downed by big number 55, James Healy.
Selby's punt was down on the Spartan 20-yard line.
Milford's got about 5 minutes to go before the end of the first quarter. They get 80 yards to push and see if they can't squeeze something in before the end of the quarter and push some more points on the board, get a little space between their score and ConVal's. Currently still 6-0 Milford.
One of the things that the Spartans have not been in this year have been competitive games, and you have to play in competitive games to learn how to play with that kind of pressure and perform under that kind of pressure, and they just haven't had that circumstance this year. Might be a nice opportunity for the Spartans tonight. O'Connor sends Tessier in motion, brings him back across the formation. O'Connor downfield, caught by Tessier, down the right sideline, has 2 men to beat. He's going to do it. Touchdown, Milford Spartans, 80 yards on 1 play. Look, surveying the field, no flags on the field. O'Connor to Tessier.
Yep.
Touchdown.
Nice catch and a good set of wheels on him. He had 2 ConVal Cougars right on his back end for a good 40 or 50 yards of that run, and he was able to beat them both, get into the end zone.
80-yard touchdown pass. That was about a 20-yard throw, and then Caden Tessier did the rest of the work with his legs.
Do they typically go for a 2-point conversion, or I haven't seen them?
Spartans this season have typically gone for 2. Not familiar, have not seen them. I think they tried a 1-point PAT early in the season, unsuccessful, but they've been going for 2. And O'Connor, his rollout to the right is completed to Liam Zahn. Zahn's able to hold on to that one. So the Milford Spartans put that 2-point conversion on the board, making the score 14-0 here with 38 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. As the teams reset the fields, we'll step aside here on Granite Town Media.
Diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. Through awareness, education, research, and prevention, humanity continues to fight to end the scourge that is cancer. During the football season of September through November, there are 12 different cancers that are supported through research and awareness. Members of the New Hampshire Football Officials Association purchase and wear pink whistles through the month of October, with the proceeds going to support cancer research. Together we can make a difference in defeating cancer.
38 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Milford Spartans on top of the ConVal Cougars 14-0. Short squib kick by Simon McFarlane is fielded by the upback number 70, who is not on our roster. We got a roster today, Dean, from ConVal that was in alphabetical order, not numerical order. Unfortunately, I don't have a number 70 on the roster that I have, so we can't give him credit, but good hands by the linemen on the front line of the return team for the Cougars, where they take over at the 45-yard line.
Sometimes not easy to do when you got a couple of ball players coming at you trying to take you down. He's able to get the ball cradled into his body and bring it right to the ground. And they're currently sitting at the 45.
Brunell and Featherstone have a broken play in the backfield. Brunell's going to take it himself, lose probably half a yard on the play. Classic situation, Dean. I wonder how often that happened to you and your quarterback, Dave Carter, where Dave turned left and you were going right.
Well, it happened, but I remember Dave Carter being able to somehow wiggle his way out of it. The kid had speed and a whole lot of rubbery twists and turns that oftentimes made it difficult for the opposing team to get a hold of him.
What was unique about Dave as well at that time, left-handed quarterback.
That's correct. Yeah, but he ran plenty of bootlegs too, and I remember him putting quite a few into the end zone. One in particular, a great bootleg versus Bishop Girton. I think our 4th or 5th game, 6th game of the season back in '84. Like I said, the kid had wheels, and he could jig and jag and go left and right and make players miss him. And he added up plenty of yards back in the day as well.
That's the end of the first quarter of play. The referees are going to flip the field here, and we'll start the second quarter of play in just a moment. Let's stay with that conversation about Dave Carter. Sure. Left-handed quarterback. Yep. You mentioned had plenty of wheels, but what a lot of people forget about that 1984 team that won by 1 point, he was the place kicker for that team, but he did not kick in the championship game. Do you remember why?
I remember him being injured, and I remember Clay Haas coming in.
Clay Haas, sophomore, my class.
Yeah, and I remember speaking to him just before he kicked the ball as I was running off the field after the touchdown. He was coming the other way to get set up for the kick. And I remember telling him, hey, please don't miss this kick, big fella. And a couple minutes later, he put it right through the uprights, and it was currently 7-0 at that point.
Clay Haas has been dining out on that one particular PAT for 40 years.
Well, good for him.
Here's the second quarter of play. Cougars at the 44-yard line. Davis keeps the ball, turns the corner on the right side, still on his feet, still motoring, picks up the first down, finally dragged down from behind at the Spartan 44-yard line.
Yeah, he put some yardage on his legs right there. He got, I want to say, about 15 yards, first down easily. Off right tackle play. He just kept on hammering. A good run.
40-yard line. Where it'll be 1st and 10.
They'll be down to the 40-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
Nice run by the junior Davis. Really auditioning for the position at quarterback for next season. The give is to Featherstone, off tackle to the right, still picking his way along the line. Nice gain by Elliot Featherstone.
Featherstone on the carry.
Featherstone pick up another 4.
Gain of about 4 yards.
Maybe 3. Second down and about 6 or 7 to go.
Not a lot of size in that running back. I mean, I think you were probably a bigger back wearing number 33 back in the day. I remember looking at a roster recently that said you played at 5'7", 165 pounds. Does that weight sound right to you?
No, it does not. I remember, I think they added a couple of pounds to just about everybody back then to make us a little bit meaner on paper.
Davis, direct snap and direct run, turns the corner, plants his foot and is still moving downfield. Nice aggressive run by the junior quarterback, Sam Davis. First down for the ConVal Cougars.
Davis gets taken down by, plenty of Milford Spartans. However, it seems in the past couple of minutes they've been able to establish a better running game. They're moving the ball well, and they have not been throwing the ball to do so.
The junior quarterback in Davis seems to be running the ball more aggressively than the senior quarterback in Brunel.
They moved it down just about the 20-yard line in the past couple of plays. Some big chunks of yardage getting taken off on the plays here. They're averaging well above at this point.
Chunk plays for sure. Slot formation to the right. Motion man coming back to the center of the formation. Davis, direct snap, takes it himself up the middle, but he's met right there. Stout defensive play by the interior defensive line of the Milford Spartans.
They plugged the hole right up and got him well right at the scrimmage line. Maybe they may have pushed him back just a tad. We'll still be hanging tight at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 10.
Davis looks like a good athlete, though. Loose-limbed, looks like he's got some strength to him as well, and he's running hard.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 on the scoreboard here at Stadium Field. Milford Spartans awaiting the second down play from the Cougars. Davis still in at quarterback, shotgun formation. Featherstone directly behind him. Hartwell was in motion. Quick pitch out to the far receiver on the right side, who is off to the races. That is Griffin Delisle. Delisle with a direct, really a quick pass from Davis. Moves the chains. First down for the ConVal Cougars. Ball is spotted just inside the Spartan 10-yard line. 1st and goal for ConVal.
For the Cougars, the ball is on the Spartan 9-yard line.
Shadow of the goalpost. Milford Spartans looking to tighten up on defense here. Davis, shotgun. Brunel hasn't been back out on this series at all. Davis keeping it himself, trying to turn the corner. Pitches, late pitch to Featherstone, or was that actually was Hartwell? Hartwell handled that pitch. It looked like that ball was going to end up on the ground.
Gain of only about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Milford wants to keep them from going any further. They've got 2 touchdowns ahead of ConVal. They do not want them to come back with one of them. Let's keep the breathing room, gentlemen.
Interesting play call, given how successful this drive has been to this point, to call an option play and put that ball in the air, between the running back and the quarterback. ConVal's already put the ball on the ground a couple times tonight. Slot formation to the right. Davis surveying the defense. Little jet sweep action. Handled by Wetu Selby, but doesn't fool the Spartan defense. I'm not even sure he got back to the line to gain.
I don't think it did, Kevin. No gain on that play. And it was good to see Davis give the ball up. We don't want him. I'm sure ConVal doesn't want him getting too tired too early in the ball game. We still got a little ways to go for the end of the first half, but let's let everybody play ball tonight.
So bend but don't break. That's been the watchword of Milford Spartan defenses in the past, and seem to be doing that now. Gave up chunk plays early, but in the shadow of their goalpost, their back seems to be stiffening here.
Yeah, Davis certainly a good athlete. I'd be curious to find out what his future plans are after high school.
Davis now in the slot, moved away from the quarterback position. Brunel takes the snap, and the pass is complete. Can't see who it was completed to. Not a touchdown, so that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like they're still hanging tight right around the 5-yard line. They get about 4 yards to go.
Gain was to the 4-yard line.
They're going to try and punch it in, and Milford's going to try and stop them.
So that was Brunel to the 6'2" tight end, Kai Retner. We expected to call his name a lot earlier in the game. The fact that we're only talking about him now at the middle part of the second quarter is frankly kind of surprising. Nice catch there.
Does Milford have a goon dive like we did back in the day?
I haven't seen one this season. Haven't seen one since 1986.
Okay, maybe they can work that in next year. Almost always worked for us.
Spread formation, Brunel. Little throwing back to the left side. That was intended for Wetu Selby. That falls incomplete. And Milford Spartans will take over on downs. Okay. Bend but don't break. Milford Spartans will take over.
Intended for Selby was incomplete.
Inside the Spartan 10-yard line.
Over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 Spartans.
Milford's got 90 yards to go, but I'm certain they would like one more touchdown under their belt before the end of the first half, and that would put them to be in pretty good shape for the second half.
Opportunistic football so far in this game. Liam Zahn taking a fumble recovery into the end zone for a touchdown. 80-yard pitch and catch from Brady O'Connor to Caden Tessier. Here's O'Connor. Give us to Tessier, running hard up the middle. Short gain for the Spartans, trying to get out from the shadow of their goalpost now.
I think he picked up at least a couple.
Tessier
good tough run right up the middle. Held on to the ball. Looked like they were trying to strip him. But he goes down with the ball intact, and they do not get another turnover.
Hard to see from our vantage point. It looks to be on the 6-yard line of the Milford Spartans. Tessier and Zahn to the right side. The other Tessier in the backfield with O'Connor. O'Connor gives to Tessier. Tessier off tackle to the right. Nice gain by Tessier. Joining us high atop the stadium field is none other than Norman Douglas. Norman, we haven't seen you in a long, long time. Nice to see you here, my friend.
I believe they called you Stormin' Norman back in the day.
Out to the Spartan 10-yard line.
Good to see you too, Storm. What brings you back to southern New Hampshire? Good for you. Good
Senior
to back. Maybe you got a tan when you were down in Aruba not too long ago. You sly minx you. Okay. We got another flag on the play. I hope that's defensive. That'll help Milford move a little bit closer to their end of the field.
Should be encroachment by the defense, and that will result in a Spartan first down.
Storm, you feel the energy right here when you're standing here watching these guys play? They're bringing you back? All right. There you go.
Those of you that can't quite hear it, Norman Douglas from back in our 1984-85 days joining us here in the booth, talking to Dean Hardwick, just popping in to say hello. Good to see you, Norman.
Good to see you too, Gary.
We'll catch up with you at halftime. How about that? All right, here come the Spartans now, 1st and 10. The give is to Tessier, running hard but not very far. He falls forward for about a yard. Actually barely made it back to the line to gain.
Selby on the tackle for the Cougars. There was no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 10 yards.
3:50 to play here in the second quarter. 14-0 is your score. 2nd and 10. Spartan ball, 15-yard line. O'Connor. The give is to Tessier. Tessier fumbles the ball. Still loose. Looks like he might have gotten it back. Appears he did. Messy play again, Dean. Been kind of the hallmark of tonight's game, and no real excuse for it. Beautiful weather. It's not wet.
And it's toward the end of the season. You would have thought they would have gotten the kinks out by now. But, I understand it. I get it. Not everybody's perfect. It certainly wasn't. It's not as cold out there now as it was back in the Laconia game, in 1984 championship game up in Laconia. Boy.
Frozen tundra of Laconia Field, yep.
But he did regain the football, and they got it back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 10, spread formation, trips formation to the top side. O'Connor sending Tessier in motion. O'Connor looking to his right, now flush to his right, and he's dropped in the backfield for a loss. That'll bring up a 4th down. Play really never had a chance to develop. It looks like the ConVal got good penetration that particular time. You've been saying so far tonight that the offensive line has been stout, but not on that particular play.
I don't remember number 2 being taken down or sacked. I'm not sure if he's been sacked prior to that last play. However, I don't
not tonight, no.
So yeah, we're getting a little more penetration, and they're running the ball a little bit better when they have the ball. So we'll see if Milford can continue holding on.
McFarland back to punt for Milford, back to receive for ConVal, Sam Davis. Field position really favoring the Cougars right now, pending this punt. We'll see where this winds up. Davis standing at his 48-yard line.
And they will have a minute or two to try to put one in. We'll see how it goes.
Timeout taken on the field, so we're going to take a timeout as well here on Granite Town Media. Kevin St. Onge and Dean Hardwick here at Stadium Field.
At this time, we would like to recognize the 2024 football and cheer sponsors. Blue level sponsors are Brennan and McKay, 5th Gen Masonry and Concrete, Gurney's Automotive, Turks Wealth Management, Johnson Family, Milford Junior Spartans, and the Brick House Restaurant and Brewery. The white level sponsors are Card Heating and Cooling, Cardoza Flooring, Sunnyside Acura.
Yeah, slide in. We'll get a little.
Gold level sponsors are Growing Imaginations, Maplebrook Dental, and Amigos. And the silver level sponsors, Chiadelli Fuel Company, Wirewinders Inc., LDN, The Brick House, and Tromley Gardens.
Standing in his end zone, Simon McFarland set to punt for the Spartans, gets it away. Spiraling kick lands at the 35-yard line, fielded now by Sammy Davis at his 44. No return by the Cougars, but they have great field position with 1:43 to play here in the second quarter.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars from the Spartans.
All right, we'll see if Milford defense can put a stop to this and get to the first half up 14-0. And that's not an uncomfortable lead. 2 touchdowns in the first half. The second half to go. That's where they want to want it.
One thing the Spartans have been looking for all season is to be competitive in games. When you're losing games 40-6, 55-6, and so forth, to be in a competitive game, whatever the score, changes the complexion of things. Brunel drops back, looking to his right, down the right sideline, intended for Wetu Selby. That is complete.
That's trouble.
And that is trouble. That is going to be a Cougar first down inside the Spartan 10-yard line.
And not much time came off the clock for that one either, Kevin. Now they're well within striking distance, and there's still over a minute and a half left to play in the first half. Let's see how Milford responds here.
The gain was to the Spartan 9-yard line. Will be 1st and goal.
Cougars have been living in the red zone the last 4 minutes of this second quarter of play. Have not been able to score, but looking to do so now. Featherstone stringing it out to the left side, running hard, and is into the end zone for a touchdown. ConVal Cougars on the board now. 14-6 is your score. Nice hard run by Elliot Featherstone. That's the hardest I've seen him run tonight. He'd been picking his way through the line, but he just put his head down and ran to that edge.
Yeah, nice run, fleet feet. He moved right along. He saw the goal line, and he was confident enough to get over it. It was close, but I think his shoulder landed on the just beyond the white line, and that gives him 6 points, ladies and gentlemen.
Ball spotted on the near hash mark as it appears ConVal will be going for 2.
Which could be key later on in the ball game if they can convert this 2-point conversion and make it 14-8.
Charles McGarvey is to the far side, wide side right. Brunel gives to Selby. Selby with one man to beats Tessier to the end zone, in for the 2-point conversion, making your score 14-8.
The 2-point conversion. And with a minute and 13 seconds
Nice little run by
left in the
Wetu
first
Selby, a sophomore running back. Haven't seen a lot of him today, but when he has had the ball, he's shown speed, he's shown shiftiness. So at the 1:13 mark of the second quarter of play, 14-8 is your score. We're going to step aside on Granite Town Media. You're listening to Kevin St. Onge and Dino Hardwick.
Still doing the same business.
Yes, I'm still in retail.
So after the Cougar touchdown, ConVal set to kick off. Wetu Selby, who scored the point after touchdown, will do the kicking duties for ConVal.
Well, Milford Spartans have got a little over a minute to go here. They can maybe they can make some magic happen.
Low driving kick fielded by Tessier. Tessier looking to get to the left hash mark, turns the corner, and is met at the Spartan 28-yard line.
Selby's kickoff was picked up by Tessier.
Well, that burns up about 30 seconds, so they've got a little over a minute to go. They can put a couple of plays together here and maybe make something go on. Maybe they can get down the field, and we shall see.
The return is to the 30.
Griffin Delisle on the tackle for that last play.
Both teams seem to be in pretty good shape, PT-wise. I haven't really seen anybody slowing down or not being able to bounce right back up after a play, which is that's good to see.
If anything, midway through that second quarter, when ConVal put Sammy Davis at quarterback, they seemed to pick up their energy and really
maybe they're warming
rally
up
to him.
Yeah.
Looks like we have a timeout on the field. Milford calling timeout, so we're going to step aside as well during this timeout on Granite Town Media. So following that timeout, with the ball centered, actually spotted on the almost left hash, Milford Spartans with 1:06 to play in the second quarter. Brady O'Connor, shotgun formation. Give is to Tessier. Tessier's got a lot of room up the middle, still running strong after a nice gain, 12-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up give the Spartans a first down.
If they're under a minute, they can hustle, get a couple more plays off. Maybe they can punch something in.
Clock is running, though. Lots of movement on the offensive line, though. That'll be a penalty against the Milford Spartans. Situational football again. This is a team that has not been in many games this season, so have not had these opportunities to play meaningful minutes and execute at the same time. So great opportunity for a young team to gain that experience in a competitive setting. Penalty moves the ball back to the Spartan 46-yard line, 47-yard line. Clock now winds and is running. We're under 45 seconds to play. O'Connor gives to Tessier. Tessier off tackle to the left, moves the ball to the 46-yard line.
Again, another run right up the middle, which they've been running a lot and having some good success with in the last few minutes.
Timeout on the field.
That is their third and final timeout.
Takes their final timeout of the half with 32 seconds remaining. So that'll bring up second down, and let's call that 8. Nice run by Tessier,
Nice.
spreading the field, spreading the defense, and then giving it to the workhorse back Tessier, who's finding his way through that between the tackles and running and up and down running style, not really dropping the shoulder like you described earlier, but he's got the speed to get through that initial defensive line.
I believe we called them the ISOs back in the day, 22, 23 ISO. Runs right up the middle, off to your guards to the left and right. And we used it all. We used it all the time. We like going up the middle. It was relatively successful, but Milford's having a much better luck with it right now. See if they stick with it. They got about half of a minute left to go to try and do something.
Trip formation to the right. Tessier was in motion. The pass is intended for Tessier. Almost intercepted along that left sideline by, looks like Jaden Merchant over there for Charles McGarvey, excuse me, for the Cougars. So
Looked like Davis broke that up.
4 seconds come off the clock, bringing up third down and 7. Ball remains at the Spartan 45. It's one thing going in with a lead 14-8. It'd be another thing to turn the ball over or give ConVal the opportunity to score late in this first half of play. Looks like there's a little confusion still on the Spartan offense.
And they're out of timeouts.
Lots of movement. Zahn comes to the near side. Trips formation to the near side. O'Connor connects to Simon McFarland, who steps out of bounds after picking up a first down. Nice little pitch and catch. O'Connor to McFarland.
And that'll stop the clock at 23 seconds. They'll be at about the 40-yard line.
Most importantly, that moves the ball into Cougar territory on that first down.
And they should have enough time for at least a couple more plays, see if they can move the ball.
Not a lot of 3 receiver sets back in our day, but I love to see 3 receivers coming to the near side. O'Connor looking to his left. He's flushed. Looked like his arm was going forward. Not sure, though. We have a flag on the play. Milford Spartans have recovered. We'll have to see what the flag is. We might have to go to replay and have a conversation about the tuck rule.
Well, and I remember, I want to say we had a play back in our playbook in '84 where you had three receivers, splayed out to the far side of the field, and I want to say one of them was Chris Hibbard, and Chris was, I don't remember a better set of hands on some of the underclassmen, and then Chris, and it was always comforting to know that he was out there. And typically when Dave Carter threw to him, or Rich Fisher, or whoever was throwing the ball, it came up a completion. No matter, as long as you got it within his reach, he was going to come down with the ball.
So the penalty on the play, I believe, was holding. But the Cougars are going to take the result of the play, which was the fumble, which moves the ball back to the Spartan 30-yard line. And
that's going to be
having done that, the time will expire on the first half of play. 14-8 is your score at halftime at Stadium Field. Kevin St. Ange, happy to be high atop Stadium Field with Dean Hardwick. We're going to talk a lot more 1984 football in the second half, but we have a competitive one, so come on back for the second half in just a moment. Welcome back to Stadium Field here at Milford High School. Kevin St. Ange and Dean Hardwick ready for second half action of Milford Spartan football on Granite Town Media. Milford Spartans playing host to the Cougars of ConVal High School. Milford Spartans on top 14-8. McFarland steps into his kickoff, drives it to the right side where it's picked up by Featherstone. Featherstone immediately met by Tessier.
I overheard somebody say earlier that these teams are pretty evenly matched, and I have to agree. It's only 14-8 Milford in the beginning of the second half, and ConVal seems to be improving on some of their running game. see if Milford can hang in there and maybe put a couple more touchdowns on the board.
We do have the winning.
The key to a young team is learning from experience, and being in competitive games is probably the best experience they're going to get. And unfortunately, that hasn't been the case most of this season, but tonight seems to be the case. We have an injured Spartan down on the field, though, so while we sort that out, we'll step aside. We're just underway here in the second half of play. Milford Spartans on top, 14-8.
50-50 ticket number. The winning number is a yellow ticket. The number is
Spartan.
09377.
I didn't get his number just yet, but
03.
he's out about the 45-yard line, being looked at by his training staff.
The winning 50-50 ticket number is a yellow ticket.
Yep, he's up.
The number
Hopefully they can
is
get him squared away.
09.
Looks like maybe holding on to his wrist, wrist injury. But he's making his way off the field on his own power, under his own power.
Prize at the concession
We'll get him squared away and resume play shortly.
Again, one last time, the winning 50-50 ticket number is a yellow ticket, 09379.
Senior night here at Spartan Stadium for both the band, the football team, as well as the cheer team. 11:55, we're just underway, second half of play. ConVal at their 36-yard line. Brunell under center. Barking signals, takes the snap, turns and hands to keeps it, fakes to Featherstone. Flag is on the play. Not sure he got back to the line to gain. Maybe did so, but we'll have to sort out the flag first.
Flag came out awfully quick after the snap. Looks like it'll be on ConVal, and they'll back him up.
Lots of pointing going on out there, Dean. Important stuff. Here comes the referee's call.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Formation penalty sets the Cougars back 5 yards to their 31-yard line.
Moves the ball back 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15 for the Cougars.
Very talented, skilled players for the Cougars. Makes this second half very precarious for the Milford Spartans. Davis, the quarterback for ConVal. He's keeping it. Tucks up inside the tackle. Gain of about 6 or 7 on the play, where he's met by Liam Zahn.
Sammy Davis on the carry.
As well as Jack Clancy.
And he gets it back out closer to the line of scrimmage, but still about the
the
35-yard line. And I'm curious to see, Kevin, where in the next few minutes we're going to see who prepped harder, who trained harder, who went through the PT during the preseason and regular season to get to this point. Who's going to? It's a tight ball game, and I think the physical capacity of these boys out here, how good of a shape they're in, it's going to make the difference. And so we're going to see. I still think that everybody out there is showing that they have plenty of steam. So
very evenly matched so far. Davis with Selby behind him. Gives to Selby. Selby off tackle. Left side. Doesn't look like he got much. Maybe even lost half a yard.
Milford plugged the hole well with several Milford Spartans. Stopped him again. He only got a couple of, maybe a yard. It'll be third down and about 11 to go. Still in ConVal territory. At about the 35 and a half yard line. Plenty of time to go in the second half.
What do you make of this rotation at quarterback? You've watched a lot of football over the years, having 2 different signal callers in the same game, in the same quarter. What's your sense of that, Dean?
Boy, I'm not sure how to answer that, Kevin. Other than to say that you got 2 talented men out there that.
Brunell to Davis. Davis passing downfield. Pass was intended for big number 17, Kai Reitnauer.
Broken up by
Tessier, and Liam Zahn was back there on the coverage as well. Interesting play design there. A little pitch from the quarterback, Brunell. to the quarterback, Sammy Davis, and Davis looking downfield. Had his man. Right now, he just couldn't come up with it.
Back to your original question, Kevin, I think, both of these quarterbacks have got, they can throw and they can also run, and they're tough enough to take a hit. Just they're under two different sets of guidelines, playbooks, etc.
Selby back to punt, low bouncing punt, snap, but nice kick by the ConVal punter, who gets it down inside the Spartan 15-yard line, where it will be down by James Healy. And the Milford Spartans will take over for their first possession of the second half.
14-yard line.
Yeah, he got the ball off well, and he got a very good roll up. I see a flag flying, and that's well after the play ended. I'm wondering what's going on here.
Players are about milling around. Didn't look like any opponents were interacting. Curious what the adjudication will be.
Refs are pointing the finger at somebody out there on the Milford side. We'll see what we can tell you in just a minute.
Punt was to the Milford 14-yard line, but everybody's walking back downfield here.
Looks like
we might be replaying the punt.
Illegal participation on the offense. 12 men on the field during the play. 15-yard penalty.
ConVal takes a hard penalty. They had too many men on the field. They were going to move the ball back.
Kind of fun tonight, Dean. We don't always have referees with audio ability. In fact, this is the first time that I can remember having at the Division II level a referee that has the headset, and we could hear him tell us what the adjudication was. So very unusual, and as you heard, we're going to replay the down.
Yeah, it's good to know that that kind of technology is moving into the more youthful ball clubs,
The penalty moves the ball
not
back
just
to the Cougars.
utilized at the college level and higher.
line. It'll be 4th down and
Looks like we're going to do it again.
yards
ConVal will punt.
for the Cougars.
High
From way
snap
back.
this time. Selby is blocked
It is blocked.
by Chamberlain.
That's gonna be
Selby
trouble.
looks like he got on it, but I don't know. It looks like he's in the end zone.
Looks like
It looks-
Milford's ball at the
And-
1-yard line, close to.
It would appear that Selby would have recovered it if the referee is standing where I think he is. He's on the 1-yard line, pointing in the direction of the Cougar end zone. Where, as you said, the Milford Spartans will take over on down. Selby recovered that fumbled snap, but he did it on his 1-yard line. So here come the Milford Spartans, the golden opportunity to put a little distance between themselves and the Cougars.
They'd like some more wiggle room early in the second half. And this could be a golden opportunity. Let's see if they can make it happen.
Under center, O'Connor trying to catch the Cougars off balance. Unusual place. Spartans typically run the shotgun formation. Do that 98% of the time. And on that play, O'Connor ran right up under center and looked like it was kind of like a goose and go. Doesn't go anywhere, though, so that'll bring up second down.
From the 1 for the Spartans.
Quarterback sneak that was stopped, and they will resume play at the line of scrimmage.
Interesting play call, though, by first-year head coach Max Morelli, trying to catch the Cougars off guard. Didn't work that time, but Spartans still in a great position here. Second down, ball spotted on the 2-yard line. Whistles on the field. We got the referee waving. It looks like waving the trainer, the Milford trainer, over to the ConVal side. Must be a ConVal player that's injured. So play will be held up while the trainer crosses over. Here we go. They've wound the clock now. Here come the Spartans. O'Connor rolling to his right. Throws. Passes intended for Tessier. Nice coverage by number 3, Griffin Delisle. Textbook coverage by Delisle. On Tessier's back hip, waited for the ball to get in front of Tessier and then reached across and stripped it away, bringing up third down.
Good defensive play. It was on him like glue, and was able to prevent a catch. So Milford will go to third down and still at the 1-yard line, trying to punch it in here in the beginning of the second half.
O'Connor gives, looks like to Jace Wilhelmi up the middle. Flag comes in. No indication on whether he crossed the goal line or not at this point. Flag came in from the back judge.
I think he's going to be short, and we'll see what the flag's about.
There is a flag on the play.
You can check me on that. That was number 38, Logan Chamberlain on the carry, not Wilhelmi.
During the run, personal foul, face mask on the defense. Half the distance to goal.
ConVal will take the
Replay
penalty
third
for
down.
face mask, and the ball will be moved just a little bit closer to the goal line for the Milford Spartans.
Milford Spartans looking to play opportunistic football here, recovering or gaining possession on the 1 yard line. Lost a yard, but now on third down have an opportunity to score again. Chamberlain to O'Connor's left. The give is to Chamberlain. Chamberlain into the end zone. Touchdown, Milford Spartans.
Very
Logan
nice.
Chamberlain into the end zone.
Like a quarterback
Touchdown,
off
Spartans.
left side tackle. Punches it in. No flag on the play. And it's now Milford 20. ConVal 8.
The one thing we were looking for tonight, Dean, a competitive ball game. That's what we're getting so far.
Yep.
Milford Spartans up 20-8, 7:59 of the third quarter. Milford going for 2-point conversion here. Chamberlain to O'Connor's right. O'Connor looking to pass. Little pop pass over the middle. Ball was intended for...
O'Connor's pass
Looks like 30.
intended for
31,
was incomplete.
But knocked away anyway. Batted
So the
down.
two-point
We don't have a number
conversion
31
was
on the
much
roster.
On the roster. Well,
Gotta love-
my eyes aren't so good, Kevin. Maybe it was 30. I don't know. I'm
No,
not
no,
sure.
you were right. You were right.
20.
It's Division II
Anywho.
football in New Hampshire.
It was the ConVal bats it away, knocks it down. They don't get what they were looking for, but they're still up by 12 points, which, well, we'll see if that 2-point conversion makes a difference toward the end of the ball game. ConVal can come back with 2 touchdowns and a couple of extra points. Milford's going to have a lot of work on their plate.
Once again, opportunistic football by the Milford Spartans tonight. Interception early, fumble recovery early, leading to points. This, fumbled punt snap by ConVal, giving the Spartans possession on the 1 yard line. The kind of opportunistic football that they hadn't experienced all season long. McFarland set to kick off for the Spartans. Back deep, Sam Davis for ConVal. Unique kicking tonight too. Not traditional belt it and bomb away. They've been, driving it as this one is driven across the ground. Fielded by Davis, far sideline, picking his way along that far sideline. He's got some speed and he's gone.
Yep, he's got
One
a
man
block.
to beat, and he is going for a touchdown. Sam Davis. No flags on the play. Looked like there was some holding going on in there.
It sure did, Kevin. I thought a flag was coming out on somebody's pocket, but they do not get it. Milford sustains the loss on that one. ConVal gets up with a long run.
This ball game's far from over with 7:46 to play. The score is 20-14 on that Sam Davis kickoff return for a touchdown. This game very much in doubt, Dean.
Well, they only need a touchdown as a minimum to tie the ball game, and certainly an extra point's going to give them the edge.
And this is a team that has been in close games this season. ConVal has, although they've lost those close games, they have that experience.
Looks like they're going to try to kick it.
The traditional point after touchdown attempt, at least is set up. High snap brought down by Brunel, and that kick is no good.
Apparently it went wide. Well,
Selby's attempt, it looked good. He had plenty of leg, but it was wide. So that keeps the score at 20-14. Your score with the 7:46 to play in the third quarter. We'll be back here on Granite Town Media right after this. Selby set to kick off for the Cougars. Milford with great momentum to start the third quarter, gave it all back, allowing Davis to go some 75 yards for a kickoff return for a touchdown. Time to regroup.
Yep.
Squib kick, onside kick. Ball's available, and it appears that the Cougars have recovered it. So Milford Spartans with a lead, starting to give up momentum, and here come the Cougars.
They will take over right at the 50-yard line.
49-yard line. They will have the ball first down and 10.
Play well done, well executed by the Cougars.
So I mentioned the closer games that ConVal has played this year, wins and losses. They beat Kennett 20-14, the score that we have right here, 6-point game. They lost to Souhegan by 41. Everybody loses to Souhegan by at least 40, so that's no surprise. 21-12 was their loss to Manchester West. Pretty competitive game there. So this is a team that has that experience. I'm going to go through the rest of their schedule in just a moment, but here comes Brunel in the shotgun with Featherstone to his right. Davis, keeps it. Off tackle, left side, 8-yard gain. Gang tackle by the Spartans, but not before Davis picks up 7, maybe 8 yards.
Well, he was able to get through the line of scrimmage with lots of momentum and not a lot of people pushing back the other way. Milford catches up with him, and he's able to get
just
up to the
42-yard line of the Milford Spartans. We're in Spartan territory. After that onside kick, slot formation to the right. Hartwell in motion. High snap to Davis, direct snap, and Davis is off to the races again. Short gain, picked up maybe 3. Ball looked like it came out.
Oh.
Spartans think they have it. No indication from the officials yet. Officials indicate third down, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, we thought we had another turnover, but nope, we're going to keep it going. Although that would look like the same plays that they just run as the one previous to it. Milford stepped up on that one, and they only got a gain of maybe a yard.
No real design to that play. Direct snap to the quarterback and letting him pick his way along the offensive line, finding a hole and hitting it. With his athleticism, he seems to be doing a good job of getting in and through that hole. Third and 2 officially here as the clock runs in the third quarter. Close game, 20-14. Gonna have a little confusion on the offensive line. Direct snap. Davis takes the straight ahead. Gonna depend on the spot.
Boy,
if he got,
that's gonna be tight. I think
if they give him forward progress, he should have it. But we will see.
I think he's going to be
Davis
short
on the keeper.
by about a foot.
Snitchler on the tackle for the Spartans.
Based on that spot, he does come up short, bringing up a 4th down. Dean, I don't think we've had a measurement yet tonight. I haven't seen the chain gang come out on the field even once so far tonight. Very unusual. So once again, this Cougar team used to playing in close games. Their last loss was to Merrimack Valley, 17-12. They crushed Hollis Brookline 52-8, so no surprise there. But they have 5 or 6 games on their schedule this year where they've been within 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Penalty on this play. This was kind of a goose and go play with the quarterback again. Scrum still on the field as the ball's moving forward. Late whistle.
So they gained about 4 yards, maybe 5 yards, but we'll see what the flag's about. That could be a painful one for ConVal.
They've already had 3 painful penalties so far. 1 negated a touchdown in the first half. 2 others have stopped drives cold. Lots of conversation. The officials are all looking at each other with their hands on their hips. Chain gang has not moved yet. Clock stopped at 5:04.
And it's going to be against ConVal.
So that will negate a first.
Illegal motion on the offense.
That negates the first down and will move the Cougars back to the Spartan 44-yard line. Clearly going for it on 4th down. Game situation and circumstance, and just the way the game is played now at the 44-yard line. Cougars going for first down, 4th and 5.
Milford getting a little bit of second life here for another shot at that football. They'll need to keep
a strange formation here as the entire offensive line comes to the near hash mark. Center is alone. Quarterback is Selby. And a charge timeout to Milford. Head coach Max Morelli, seeing the unusual play being arranged by the Cougars, not having any of it. So with the timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Spartan Football on Granite Town Media. Second half of play, once again, unusual formation. Selby looking to run to his left, pick up the first down, does so. That same unusual form, and he's still going along that left sideline. So we went out to the timeout because Milford Spartans called timeout because of an unusual formation on this 4th and 5 play. ConVal comes back and sets up the same exact play and gives the running back Selby the option to read the defense. He reads the defense very well, runs left, picks up the first down.
Great second effort on that play. I thought he was down well before where he ended up landing. He broke a tackle or two, and now we're looking at ConVal on the
32-yard
Spartan
32. Yep, Spartan 32 and
first down.
ConVal has controlled time of possession really since the middle part of the second quarter. Part of that has to be controlling the line of scrimmage, so that might be some of that physical training that you're talking about, the conditioning you're talking about. Featherstone up the middle, running hard but not gaining a lot, met at the line of scrimmage by Milford Spartans, number 75, Big Eli Gutierrez.
And I'm sure he's been, many of these up the middle runs that are being stopped by the Spartans, the ConVal's not having a lot of success with. They seem to be doing a little bit better going to the outside and maybe using the quarterback to run bootlegs. But Milford Spartans are keeping the inside tight.
2nd and 9, 3:50 to play here in the third quarter. Slot formation to the right now we're split to the far side. Davis looking to pass to his left side. Pass is intended and caught by number 3, Griffin Delisle. Nice throw by the junior quarterback. Put it on a line to Griffin Delisle. Senior receiver went up, met the ball at its highest point, came down with it in the end zone. 32-yard touchdown for the Cougars. 20-20 is your score. We're all tied up here at Stadium Field. It was 20-8 not that long ago, Dean.
That came on quick. And, here comes the I know we mentioned the extra point conversions that either were or were not successful earlier in the game and how they may have an impact on the end of the game tonight. Well, here we are. And a ball game this tight.
Both teams missing opportunities on points after touchdown.
Yep, and we need to convert here. It could be a much different ball game had things been different in the first half, but we'll see how this one goes. Looks like they're going to try and kick it again. However,
high snap, the last attempt PAT. The kick was wide. Movement along the kicking team's left offensive line. So
looks like ConVal drew Milford off. They'll move the ball a little closer.
Okay.
We had some motion on the defense. They will draw the foul and we will move the ball.
Not much of an advantage in this situation.
No.
The ball's on the 2-yard line anyway. 3-yard line.
And 1 point is all it takes. But plenty of time left to play. Still in the third quarter. 3:38 left.
I love this, Dean. You're finding your groove with the with this announcing gig, getting
thanks,
the information, conveying it clearly and distinctly, and I love it.
Yeah.
Feeling more comfortable with the mic.
Maybe someday I'll go pro, but until then I'll continue on my daily routine.
I'll remember you when. So let's set the game for you. 3:38 remaining in the third quarter. We are awaiting the point after touchdown here. Nice pitch and catch from Davis to Delisle. Lots of conversation amongst the referee officiating crew here, and now substitutes running in and out for ConVal. Featherstone runs into the huddle, and it looks like we'll get a playoff here at some point. And now it appears they're going for two, Dean.
Yep.
Right now it comes to the near side right. Davis under center. Referee stops the play before the snap.
All right, so the play clock expiring. Charge timeout, ConVal. That is their first timeout.
As you heard our official announce on our audio system here, timeout charge to ConVal, so we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Spartan Football on Granite Town Media.
Okay, we've been advised that no one has claimed the 50-50 pot this evening. So we're going to read the 50-50 ticket number again. Everyone, please make sure you look at your tickets. And again, the winning 50-50 ticket is a yellow ticket. The number is 0937903. Again, the winning 50-50 ticket number is a yellow ticket. The number is 0937903.
We're still awaiting this point after touchdown. The clock hasn't run, but about 5 minutes ago, Sammy Davis tossed it to Griffin Delisle for a touchdown, and now it appears that the Cougars will go for two again following that extended timeout. And we have another whistle before the ball has been snapped. And we will await the referee's indication.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the field prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Retry the extra point. Untimed down.
Penalties mounting up for the Cougars.
Well, that'll back them up another 5 yards. See if they want to maintain the attempt at a two-point conversion, or if they want to go back to the kicking game.
Trying a two-point conversion from the 3-yard line versus from the 6-7 yard line. It's a different play, and it changes the nature of the play call that you would make. But here come the Cougars, again lining up. Well, now they're lining up for one. Brunel drops the pad, the kicking pad, and it looks like Selby is set to kick. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is. This one is good. 21-0 is your score. Milford, 21. Excuse me. Thank you, Dean. 21-20 is your score. The Milford Spartans, now down by a point, having once led 20-8, are now down by a point at the 3:38 mark of this third quarter. We wanted a competitive game. We've got a competitive game. Come on back here for the kickoff at the 3:38 mark. Milford Spartans set to return a kickoff from the ConVal Cougars. You know, Dean, when we spoke to head coach Matt Harris of ConVal earlier tonight, he said his goal tonight was to ruin senior night for the Milford Spartans. They've had a couple of their own games recently. They had their own senior night ruined with a loss, and so they're certainly playing the role of the spoiler tonight. 21-20 is your score. Selby set to kick off. Bunch formation on this kickoff team as they now spread out along the ConVal 35-yard line. Selby, low driving kick down the middle of the field, fielded by the Spartans. Number 22, Colton Schuster. Schuster's tackled along the left sideline, and here comes another flag.
Fielded the kickoff.
Lots of penalties tonight. Very undisciplined play both ways.
Flag on the play.
Really slowing this game to a halt.
Ball was picked up at the 20-yard line. Ball carrier made it about 5 yards before he was taken down by ConVal, and immediately a flag in the air. So we'll stand by and see what we have.
Colton Schuster's not a name I've called very often this season. Nice to see the junior get a touch and return the ball a little bit. Zebra convention convening at the 35-yard line as we await the official ruling.
Return. Personal foul. Unnecessary. Late hit. Out of bounds. On the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Very undisciplined penalty on the Spartans. That's going to move the ball from about the 30-yard line to inside the 15-yard line, half the distance, setting the Spartans well back in their territory.
That was something that if we had done back in the day, we would have been doing a lot of extra laps after practice the following week.
Absolutely.
I don't know how if the coach from Milford does it that way nowadays, but
I'm not sure they can.
I felt the pain when I heard what the penalty was and when it was called. That's conduct that could have been avoided, and we would have been running all night long for that one.
3 receivers to the left. O'Connor looking downfield. Pass was intended for number 31. Again, we don't have a roster player for him, and the ball appears to have been intercepted by the Cougars.
Was intercepted.
So a tough penalty for Milford, and now we have another turnover. So ConVal will take the ball from the Milford
On the interception.
25, 20, 23-yard line.
Waiting for them to spot it, actually.
Maybe 22-yard. Anyway, ConVal is going to have the ball with not too far to go, 1st and 10.
Let's put it at the 33-yard line of the Spartans, 1st and 10.
Thank you, Kevin. Yep.
And
somebody said was in the way. It was a 2.
You can slide this way. Yep. You can slide to your left. We're standing here at the 45-yard line at Spartan Stadium.
So ConVal's going to try and put another one in and
Brunel
create some distance.
to Davis. Davis looking like he was going to pass, now stringing the play out to the right side. Cuts it back to the left on the hash mark, cuts it back to the center of the field. One man to beat. Logan Chamberlain's on him back, but
Touchdown.
Davis drags him into the end zone for another ConVal Cougar touchdown. It's a great run by Davis. Shifty, speed, switched fields, and he showed power carrying Chamberlain into the end zone with him,
Nice
leaving a trail of Spartans behind him. Really, unfortunately, not very good tackling on that play.
Nope. Well, we'll see how Milford responds. They've got time, but they need to respond soon and see if they can suck it up and get the ball back and put something together.
Colton Schuster was shaken up on that play. He walks off under his own power with Spartan trainer. Into the game is Devin Woods. And we're going to see if we can get a point after touchdown attempted within at least the next 5 to 10 minutes. The last one took almost 8 minutes to get off. We'll see what we get here. ConVal seems to be dialing in their PAT a little better. They were able to convert the last time. Brunel's out there again with the pad. Looks like they're going to be kicking. Nope. Lining up for a 2-point conversion here. Brunel deep behind Davis. Kind of a diamond formation in the backfield. The give is to a big number 71, Keith Bush.
And they stop him.
They put two linemen in the backfield with Davis. Davis hands it off to number 71, Keith Bush. Does not get across the goal line, so the 2-point conversion fails. The score stays 27-20 at the 3:12 mark of this third quarter.
That Milford line stays strong. They prevent another couple of points for ConVal. The game is, they may be down by 7, but the game is well within reach for Milford. We'll see how well they can respond to this issue. Maybe they can dig a little deeper and put some more points on the board.
A team that has not had to play the entire 4 quarters because they frankly haven't been in games to play the entire 4 quarters. Conditioning becomes an issue. We're not even in the 4th quarter yet. And the question, that's going to become very clear very quickly here is, do these Spartans play with the pride that their predecessors played with? Are they ready to go the full 4 quarters? Seeing a lot of fresh faces out there too. Chris Boza is deep together with Victor McGinnis. The kicks have not been going deep. Selby steps into it, squibs it straight up the middle. That
could have been trouble, but they hung onto the ball, and they will resume at the 36-yard line.
It hit Jace Wilhelmy right in the face mask, bounced high into the air, and then I believe it was recovered by Devin Woods. So everything's an adventure right now at the 3:09 mark of the 3rd quarter. Milford Spartans have the ball from their 36-yard line, 1st and 10, down 7.
I'm sure they know what they need to do, and they can get the job done.
O'Connor has Wilhelmy in the backfield with him to his right. The give is to Wilhelmy, picking his way along the left side. Little trap play up the middle.
Good
short gain.
Effort. Kept the knees pumping. Got himself a couple of yards.
About a 4.5 yard gain on the play.
Keith Bush on the tackle.
Something that the Spartans need to do is get some momentum and then get some little momentum. And then just, to convert first downs and keep the chains moving here.
Well, they really need to avoid these turnovers and any kind of yellow. The color yellow has been haunting them tonight. Well, it's been haunting both teams, but it seems to be hurting Milford a little bit more.
Brady O'Connor faked the handoff to Wilhelmy, thought he sold the fake, but the ConVal defensive line wasn't buying it. O'Connor goes down, sacked, almost a 6-yard loss on the play.
The loss is back to the Spartan 33-yard line.
Dean, I know I was not a star running back like you were, but as a former quarterback, when I see quarterback play like that, I did play just long enough to know that fake wasn't fooling anybody. And I'm not sure if that's just something that he's working on in practice. Maybe he freelanced that on his own, but it looked a little off script to me. 3rd and 13. O'Connor takes a low snap. Stepping forward in the pocket, and it collapses on him. Wilhelmy kind of whiffed on a few blocks here, and O'Connor goes down for another loss, bringing up 4th down. Milford Spartans going in the wrong direction here. 4th and 13.
The loss is back to the Spartan 29.
Well, we'll see if they can get the ball into the ConVal territory and slow them down a little bit and try to get that ball back. They still have plenty of time. 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. They're only down seven points, so well within their reach. They just got to work it out between now and the end of the 4th quarter.
We're going to have a penalty here. McFarland kicks it end over end. Ball lands at the 45, heading towards Davis. He steps away from it as the ball settles at the ConVal 38-yard line. Saw Brady O'Connor walking back onto the field just before that snap went back to the punt. I'm frankly surprised we didn't get a procedure penalty there. Might have been behind the official, and that's why they didn't see it. So we're under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter, 48.5 seconds, 27-20 is your score. ConVal Cougars take over at their 38-yard line.
The ball is just inside the Cougar 38-yard line.
Milford's going to need to try and stuff them here. They need the ball back, and they need to get heading north toward their goal. We can't be letting ConVal get another big play in here and put another more points on the board.
Davis gives to Hartwell. Hartwell running hard to the outside, gets to the corner, picks up about 8 on the play before he's brought down by Tessier and Zahn.
Liam, Zahn, and Tessier on the stop. Gain is out to the Cougar.
Again, the
46-yard
ConVal doesn't
line.
seem to be having much luck on the
Second
inside,
down and
but when they
2.
start working outside,
They've got that speed to the corner,
yep,
right?
They're finding the room to hack off some good yardage.
2nd and 2. It looks like ConVal's content to let the clock run out and end this third quarter up 27-20. We'll let them do that and step aside. We'll come back for the fourth quarter of play. Hey, we've got a competitive ball game here. We haven't had one all season long. 27-20 is the score. One score differential with 12 minutes to play. Come on back for the fourth quarter.
Milford 20.
So our statisticians are looking to see if that third quarter was, in fact, the longest third quarter in the history of Spartan football. We're not sure. We'll let you know about that. 2nd and 2. ConVal looks like they've drawn the Spartans offside. Flags all over the field.
Again, that's going to not be beneficial to the Milford Spartans.
Big Eli Gutierrez very animated after that particular penalty.
Snap, encroachment on the defense. The
Back
5-yard
Milford
penalty
up another 5
results in
yards.
a first down.
That flips the field. ConVal Cougars are in Spartan territory on the Spartan 49-yard line.
That penalty moves the ball to the Spartan 49-yard line.
Just underway
First and
here in the
10,
fourth
ConVal.
quarter of play. Davis gives to Featherstone. Featherstone pivots, gets to the left side, turns the corner, tracked down by Tessier. Flag comes in on the tail end of that play. Wilhelmi and Tessier on the tackle there, but the flag coming from the center of the field. We'll have to wait and see what that one is.
Nice run by Featherston, if that was Featherston. However, it looks like maybe he's shaken up a little bit. Took his time getting back to the huddle. Looks like he's catching a breather.
Offense, 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul.
But looks like
Replay
he's
first
okay.
down.
Penalty again on the Cougars.
Ooh, that stings. Well, we're going back and forth with yellow flags here. One minute it's Milford struggling to do something about it. Now it's ConVal getting backed up. We are now back to the 40 in the Milford territory at the 46-yard line.
Spartans' best defense has been the penalty against the Cougar offense.
So it'll now be 1st and 14 for ConVal.
Davis, shotgun, sends Hartwell in motion. Davis keeps it stiff arm, reverses his field, and is pushed out of bounds at the Spartan 49-yard line. Nice stiff arm.
He had some good hustle there, and he broke one tackle, maybe a couple. Maintained his feet, kept on going. He was able to get maybe 5-6 yards out of the run.
Spartan linebacker Jack Clancy, number 54, had a beat on him, but he was trying to tackle him high. And when you don't use proper form technique for tackling, you're going to get a stiff arm, you'll be off balance, and you might not be able to complete the tackle. In this case, he was not able to. Short gain brings up a 2nd and 10. Hartwell running off out of the huddle for the Cougars. Davis still in at quarterback for ConVal. Featherstone in the backfield. Selby in motion, crosses the formation. The pitch is to Featherstone. He turns upfield on the hash mark and is met by Wilhelmi at the 44-yard line of the Spartans.
Wilhelmi had a nice stick there.
On the tackle for the
As soon as he had contact with the running back, that was the end of the play. Dropped him right to the ground.
Dean, what I like about how this Featherstone running back runs is when he gets outside the formation and is ready to turn upfield, he plants his foot, and you can see that defined motion, and he explodes upfield. And he's picking up 3 yards just off the plant. 3rd and 5. Spartan 44-yard line. Looks like Brunell is back in at quarterback. Adjusting the formation a little bit. Lots of conversation. Brunell, quick pass out to the far side. I believe that's right now. Flag comes in on the end of this play.
And we may have another turnover. Milford's pointing toward their goal line. And yes, looks like they turned it over. Milford will take the ball.
Looked like Kai Retnar came up with the catch, but on the tackle he lost the ball, and Milford Spartans opportunistic. That's how they started this game, right? Turnover gives the Milford Spartans the football at their 40-yard line.
Plenty of time left to put it in. And then some. See if they can capitalize.
Gut check time for the Milford Spartans, down 7 with 9:36 to play. McFarland to the near side. O'Connor sends Tessier in motion. Low snap. O'Connor, bubble screen. Complete to Liam Zahn.
O'Connor's pass was complete.
Nice pickup, 8, maybe 9 yards for the senior.
Featherstone on the tackle for the Cougars.
He had his problems early in the game holding on to some passes, but when he catches the ball and he gets his shoulders square downfield, Liam Zahn's a strong runner. Picked up 8 on that play.
Yeah, this is what they're going to need to keep rolling down the field. They need to stay disciplined, stay focused, stay calm, keep chewing up the gridiron down into the goal line without any mistakes or turnovers.
We've seen enough of those yellowed handkerchiefs tonight. We don't need to see any more. Here comes McFarland to this side. O'Connor directing traffic. Tessier to his left. 3 receivers to his left. Tessier, little flare screen to him as well, but he's met in the backfield. Loss of 3 on the play.
Tessier was complete.
The Cougars had that read from the get-go, and they were all over the receiver. They lose 3 or 4 yards on that. Maybe a couple yards.
Crucial 3rd down for the Milford Spartans. Ball's at their 46-yard line. Clock now starting to become a bit of a factor with 8:12 to play.
Bradley Bunnell on the tackle on that play for the Cougars.
Zahn, Tessier, McFarland, 3 receivers to the right. O'Connor calling signals, takes the snap, low snap. He's going to have to just lay on and eat it. Milford Spartans are not executing under pressure here today, as we are now under 8 minutes of play. And that'll bring up a 4th down for the Milford Spartans.
The loss is all the way back to the Spartan 37-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 13 yards to go for Milford.
Milford Spartans in punt formation, although if you're going to run a trick play, I suppose this might be the time to do it. 4th and 13. McFarland takes the snap, steps into it, end over end kick, lands on the left hash and rolls inside the ConVal 35-yard line where it is down by Brady O'Connor. So while the teams get set up for the next series of play, we're going to step aside for just a moment here on Granite Town Media.
Of ConVal, where they will take over 1st down and 10.
Welcome back to Stadium Field here at Milford High School. Milford Spartans are down 27-20 to the ConVal Cougars. Davis with the give up the middle to his up back. Short gain on the play for the Cougars, bring up a second down. Logan Chamberlain, Simon McFarland in on that tackle.
Milford wants the ball, and they need the ball. They need it soon. They need to take possession and try and punch number one in. They are running out of time.
ConVal needs to run the ball and keep the clock running as well, and hold on to the ball. Ball security becomes critical here. 2 hands on either point of the ball, and don't let it go. But they've had their trouble with fumbles today, as well as penalties. ConVal runs up to the line pretty quickly. I think they were concerned about the play clock. Davis keeps it himself, stringing it out to the left. He's turned the corner. He's met there at the 45-yard line by Liam Zahn. If Zahn doesn't push him out of bounds, Davis is probably still running into the end zone. First down for the ConVal Cougars. Chain gang is moving. Although the clock did stop, that helps a little bit, but the first down in Spartan territory for ConVal, up 7. Davis under center. Split backs in the backfield. The give is to Featherstone. Featherstone met at the line of scrimmage by Jace Wilhelmy. Maybe a short gain. Players are getting up a lot slower now, Dean. Late in the game. A lot of hits, a lot of tired legs out there.
Wilhelmy on the tackle for the Spartans. And
2nd and 5. Ball spotted at the Spartan 39-yard line.
Dean was to the 39-yard line.
Clock running, under 5 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Davis under center. The pitch is to Selby. Sweeps it to the right side, gets the first down. High steps his way, and we have another flag coming in. High steps his way to about the 30-yard line. We'll see who the penalty is on, though.
Devin Woods on the tackle for the Spartans.
Wetu Selby, this sophomore, has shown a lot of variety in his game. He's kicking for the Cougars. He's caught some passes for the Cougars, and he's running the ball well.
Turn to run. 5-yard face mask foul on the defense. 5 yards out.
Spartan penalty, face mask on that run play by ConVal. Gives the Cougars a first down.
Penalty moves the ball back to the Spartan 26-yard line. First
Davis under center again. Split backs in the backfield. Davis keeps it, pivots behind the block of Featherstone, but not much there. Short gain for the Cougars. Wilhelmy in on that tackle together with Tessier. Head coach Matt Harris seems to be content to keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock running, positive plays, stay out of penalties if he can, and just get out of here with a win.
Well, their running game is working for him right now. Might as well continue on. Stay the course. It's certainly not hurting him any.
Davis keeps it. Gets outside the tackle, dragged down from behind by Liam Zahn. Flag comes in at the end of the play.
Looked like he had the first down, but another flag flies.
Very undisciplined play by both teams here, just given the number of flags we're seeing. It's not even like they're good penalties, like hard penalties. These seem to just be kind of, you know.
And if Milford's experiencing the penalty, it's probably as a result of some frustration. They know they're running out of time. They know they need the ball back.
After crew review, there is no foul on the play. Result of the play is a first down.
Well, when they get the first down, however, thankfully, there wasn't. The flag is withdrawn, so we will resume play without a penalty.
Okay, the Cougars
However,
have a
it looks
first and
like
10.
ConVal is now
15-yard line.
on the 15-yard line.
4 minutes to play in the ball game. ConVal up 7 and threatening. Griffin Delisle to the right. Rittenauer split far left. Davis drops back to pass, looking for Rittenauer. Rittenauer's that pass intercepted by Tessier. Tessier's up that left sideline, and he steps out of bounds at about the 25, 27-yard line.
Intercepted.
Interesting. Well, nobody gets the ball back, and that's exactly what they needed to have happen. They've got time to get from here from ConVal's side of the ball field into their goal line. It's just gonna we'll see how it goes.
Senior defensive back Caden Tessier stepped in front of that Sammy Davis pass intended for Rittenauer. Unusual play call to me. I have no idea why he's making that play. He's running clock with the lead at the 15-yard line going in, and he puts the ball in the air. That's a question I would absolutely have.
That they were having success with the ground game, and well, it's going to cost them, or at least it's costing them. We'll see how it works out. Well, and it looks like they may have drawn ConVal offsides for another 5 yards. If it goes against ConVal anyway.
So two teams that are having tough seasons, 1-6, 2-5. We're seeing why, undisciplined play and so forth. But this is an opportunity for both teams to be competitive, learn from these experiences, and build upon these. Penalty is going to go against the Cougars, and that doesn't take any time off the clock, and it gives the Spartans a little bit of extra territory.
Another 5 yards towards their end of the field, and they've got plenty of time. See if we can reduce a good solid 3 or 4 plays here and march the ball down the field.
Tessier, Zahn, and McFarland, the 3 receivers to the wide side of the field, the near side. O'Connor stepping into one, looking for Tessier. Overthrows his mark, though. That falls incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Intended for Tessier was incomplete. Gives the Spartans a second.
Tessier might have been looking for a flag on that play, but I think any contact with the defender was inadvertent and relatively minor anyway, so he doesn't get what he hopes for. But they'll go back to the huddle and try it again.
He had a step on the defensive back. I mean, Tessier was behind the defense. O'Connor just overthrew him here. So 2nd down and 5. That stops the clock at 3:34. Same formation with McFarland, Zahn, Tessier to this near side right. O'Connor, low snap on the ground. All he's going to be able to do is fall on it to preserve possession, and the Spartans are just not able to execute with the pressure on them here.
Well, that's the 2nd time they've had a snap that rolled on the ground to the quarterback, and the quarterback wasn't able to handle it. And so he has to dive on it, and they're going to take a significant loss. Now they're 3rd down and 16 to 17.
And 20.
The mathematicians here put it at 3rd down and 20. Fortunate to retain possession, but it really limits your play calling options here. I mean, there are not a lot of plays in the book for 3rd and 20 as the clock dips under the 3-minute mark. Wilhelmy to the far right. Empty backfield. O'Connor looking downfield. Passes almost intercepted by Featherstone. That pass was intended for Tessier. Featherstone had it right in his chest, though. Couldn't hold it. If that was you in 1984, it would have stuck to your hands. But
that was a well-defended play. That was a well-put-together play. It was a nice pass. It was a catch. Had the defense not been there, glued to his back with an arm out to put the ball onto the ground instead of caught by the offense.
Charge timeout.
So that'll bring up a 4th and 20 with 2:38 to play. We're going to step aside, but come on back for 4th down and 20 from Stadium Field. Well, Dean, we're going to set the scene again here. It's 2 minutes and 38 seconds to play in this very competitive game. Spartans are down 27-20, 4th and 20, deep in the Spartan territory.
Looking for a miracle here. They're going to have to air it out, I think.
O'Connor calling out signals, surveying the defense here. Takes the snap. Pass is caught by Tessier. Unfortunately, he's going to be short of the first down at the 34-yard line.
Nice play, gentlemen. It just came up a tad short, which is kind of the way things have been going tonight.
Injured player down on the field for the Cougars.
Charles McGarvey on the tackle for the Cougars.
That'll stop the. Well, actually, given the spot, this is going to be the first measurement of the game. You and I both had him well short of a first down, but that was a very generous spot by the officials. We'll see what happens with the chains.
And this could be the difference, but well, we'll see.
Eagerly awaiting the officials stretching out the chains here. We'll see if there's 1 or 2 extra links maybe removed. Oh,
well, looks like they got it.
First down, Milford Spartans.
Well, Milford needed that one.
In very generous spot.
That kept them alive.
Football gods giveth, the football gods taketh away, and they giveth on that one. So we, here in Spartan Nation, live to play another down. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. 27-20 is your score. Your 2024 edition of the Milford Spartans are really trying hard here today. Senior night, a lot of energy in the stands here. O'Connor, shotgun, takes the snap, surveys over the field, completes to Tessier at the 45-yard line. Excuse me, McFarland.
Looks like they're running a hurry-up type offense here. They do have another first down. The chains have been moved, and they will come. Excuse me, they will come back up to the line.
Clock is running. We're at the 2:04 mark. O'Connor doesn't seem to be in too much of a hurry, though. He's getting his signals from the coach. Shotgun formation, triple formation to the triple receivers to the top of the field. And we have a timeout called.
Timeout, ConVal.
Well, ConVal just did Milford a favor.
It really did.
It looked like Milford was struggling to kind of get organized, and well, ConVal's going to take a timeout so that we can reset.
Dean, we're going to take this timeout and talk a little bit about your being here tonight. 1984, 40 years ago, you were the captain of a team very similar to the Spartan team. Worked hard, plucky, just great effort, and you went 7-2 and won a state championship. What do you think the difference is between that team and the way the game was played then and the way the game is played now?
Well, I don't see too much of a difference in how the game is played. I think the differences are foundational. Let's face it, you have a lot of factors involved in creating a football team, whether they're successful or not. Those factors are coaching, athletic ability, desire, hunger. And I don't know how many teams are in this division that Milford's got to go up against, but how hard are they working? What are the rules of play? Let's face it, 40 years ago things were a lot different. Much different. Safety protocols certainly come to mind. Concussion issues. Tough question to answer, but I think that there's so many factors you have to consider. And really have to take a step back, and I'd have to think about that.
O'Connor steps back, but then he steps up into the pocket and right into the arms of big number 48, Cast Check. The senior linebacker brings him down for a loss of about 3 on the play.
It'll be 2nd down and 15.
I think they called us scrappy or stingy back in the day. We were a pretty rugged bunch of kids with a lot of talent and some great coaching.
O'Connor steps back. Pass intended for Zahn. The ball and the defensive player, Brunel, got there at exactly the same time. Ball falls incomplete. So as we wrap up this fairly exciting game, 3rd and 15 here. Milford Spartans converted on that previous 4th down. They'd like to convert here again to keep this drive alive. Whether they do or not, Dean, I appreciate you coming out tonight and
thanks, Kevin.
and
bringing you having me.
Bringing 1984 into 2024. It's a pleasure to have you, and you're welcome anytime.
Thank you. Maybe we'll I'll get myself up into this booth again one of these days and take in a ball game.
.118 to play, 3rd and 15. Lots of confusion on the Spartan offensive side. Receivers now set. O'Connor takes the snap.
Tough rush.
Steps to his right. Downfield, pass intended for Zahn. Zahn could not hold on to it. That'll bring up 4th down. Milford's going to play to their last down here.
That leaves the Spartans with a 4th and 15.
Oh, not over till it's over.
From their own
We'll give them that.
40-yard line.
They did convert their previous 4th down. Took the chain gang taking a couple of links out of the chain to do it, but but they got the previous first down on 4th. 1-1-1, that's an angel number right there. 1:11 to play in this game. And the Spartans are taking timeout, so we're going to take a timeout as well.
Third and final timeout for the second half.
Kevin St. Onge and Dean Hardwick here at Stadium Field in Milford, New Hampshire. Beautiful night for football, folks. About 48 degrees. 1:11 remaining in what has been a very entertaining game. 27-20 is the score. The visiting ConVal Cougars are up by 7, but they have to survive a 4th and 15 by these Spartans. O'Connor takes the snap, surveying the field. Passes down the middle to Simon McFarland, falls incomplete. And that's going to be the ball game, Dean.
Yeah, ConVal will take over, and they've got a minute to play with the football. Barring a
1st and 10.
very fortunate turnover on the part of Milford Spartans, I think we're going to wrap it up.
So Matt Harris came into this game, head coach of the ConVal Cougars, came into this game specifically saying he wanted to ruin senior night for the Spartans. He'd done exactly that, 27-20. They came back. They were down 20-8. And they've run off a bunch of unanswered points here, and ConVal's just going to have to sit on the ball, probably take 2 snaps and call it a day.
Well, I'm sure that the Milford Spartans are going to want to sit back and reflect on why they didn't do as well as they probably could have tonight, and a lot of it's going to be those yellow flags flying all over the place, not to mention some turnovers. And let's face it, both of those issues are discipline-oriented, or discipline. The foundation is discipline, and ConVal seems to have just done a little bit better over the course of the evening tonight.
Victory formation by the Cougars as the clock is now under a minute, and that'll be the ball game. While we have a minute, though, I want to thank Chris Gentry, the general manager, executive producer, director, camera operator, statistician. He wears many hats here at Granite-Town Media. If Chris Gentry isn't here, we're not doing this game, Dean. So, Chris, thanks for all your work all season long, not only here at football games, but also everything else you do here in town. Also want to thank our camera operator out there, Blake, did a nice job for us most of the season as well. And so, as the clock continues to roll, Dean, it was a pleasure working with you. It was great to see you.
Thank you again for having me.
This is our final broadcast from Stadium Field for 2024. For Dean Hardwick, Blake, Chris Gentry, I'm Kevin St. Onge saying so long on Granite-Town Media.
Milford